On Wednesday evening, this is a huge one for Arsenal, especially after that first leg performance, especially after that 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa. This is the quarterfinal second leg against Bayern Munich away at the Allianz Arena. A huge game for Arsenal. This is a pivotal game for our season, especially after that loss to Aston Villa. We need to have something to show for the season. And I said in the beginning of the season that as long as we can get to the semi-finals of the Champions League, I'll be pretty happy. And if we can get close to winning the Premier League, I'll be very happy. Of course, I would love to win the Premier League. I'd love to win the Champions League. But I just don't think we're there yet. I would love to be proven wrong, but I just don't see Man City slipping up for the rest of the season in the Premier League. And this is as big as it gets for us in the Champions League. If we win this game, if we beat Bayern Munich at home in the Allianz Arena, then we will be versing the winner of Real Madrid and Man City, who are also drawn equal on aggregate, and they are going to be playing in the Etihad Stadium. Another huge tie in the Champions League. This is absolutely massive. I just want to make it to the semi-finals. I would love to get to the final. I don't know if we can beat Real Madrid or Man City in a two-legged tie. Regardless, let's worry about Bayern Munich. This can be a tough game. A extremely tough game. It's going to test the mettle, the resolve of our team, especially considering that we're not in great form. So in today's video, we'll be previewing the game, talking about the potential starting 11 and how I think the game will go. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, like I said, coming into this game, we aren't in great form. Far from it. In our last 5 games, we have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. That loss is coming in a pathetic 2-0 loss to Aston Villa. A pathetic performance from the team. I've already made my post-match reaction to that. It hasn't ruled us out of the Premier League title race, but we are essentially on death's doorstep for it. I don't see Man City slipping up for the rest of the season with 6 games to go. I just don't see that happening. So realistically, if we want a trophy, if Arteta wants a trophy at the end of the season, the Champions League is our best bet maybe, unless Man City slip up, which is a huge ask to ask Man City to slip up. But even to go win the Champions League is a whole nother ball game. That first leg performance against Bayern Munich was just dreadful. Very similar to the Aston Villa performance, except a little bit better than the Aston Villa performance. But in our past 2 games, we are not in good form. And it's reminding me a lot of last season, how we just couldn't get a win. We couldn't buy a win at the end of the season. We need to prove that we are a different team this time around. And what better way to prove it than go to the Allianz Arena, a really tough place to play, and go beat a team that drew with us 2-2. The thing is, one of the encouraging sides about that poor performance against Bayern Munich in the first leg is that both goals that we conceded were our fault. Both of them were 100% our fault, were errors made at the back from us. So that is a very encouraging side. And then you look at it, injuries and suspensions. Bayern have some injuries of guys that hurt us in the first leg. Sane might be out for the game. Gnabry is probably going to be out for the game. Those both guys hurt us so much in the first leg. So that's another plus for us. But on our form, on our recent performance against Aston Villa, I wouldn't blame you if you have no hope going into this game. Again, I still have hope, but maybe I'm a delusional Arsenal fan. But I do think that, again, there is a way to win this game. It's going to be extremely tough. It's going to test our mettle. It's going to test our resolve. It's going to test our character. We have to prove everyone wrong. Everyone that's saying we are that same old, weak, young Arsenal team, we need to prove them wrong. And again, what better way to prove it than in the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich? Now, going on to injuries and suspensions with Arsenal, obviously Jurrien Timber is still going to be out. But now there's another blow, another potential person that won't be playing the game is our captain, Martin Odegaard. Now, for the record, I do think Odegaard will be fit for Bayern Munich. But after that 2-0 loss to Aston Villa, they asked Arteta, why would you bring on Smith Rowe for Martin Odegaard? That was a move that I hated. You could see the post-match reaction. I hated that move. But Arteta said, well, because Odegaard was feeling something and we want to keep him fit, we didn't want to make the injury worse. So that now made a lot of people think, well, is Odegaard even going to be playing against Bayern Munich? I hope so. I'm sure he will. But if he doesn't, it's going to be a huge miss. He was one of our best players against Aston Villa. Actually, he was our best player against Aston Villa, especially in that first half. He looked decent against Bayern Munich. We need him. Odegaard is in decent form. We need him if we're going to be beaten by Munich 100%. But again, outside of Timber and Odegaard, there's no other injuries. And I do think Odegaard will be fit. So in my mind, there's only one injury, and that is Jurrien Timber. Now, going on to injuries and suspensions for the Bavarians. Again, they are quite littered with it. Now, last time out, we thought Neuer might not be playing. We thought all these guys might not be playing, and they basically all did. But this time around, maybe a lot of them won't be played. So the confirmed injuries, the guys that definitely won't be playing against Arsenal is Sarr, Homan, Boye, Gnabry, Bachmann, and Alphonso Davies, who picked up, I think it was a second yellow card when he challenged on Saka. Debatable yellow card, but anyway. put a challenge on Saka. Alphonso Davies, who wasn't great against us, but he kind of kept Saka quiet. He made Saka track back a lot because of his pace. He won't be playing in the game, which is a huge plus. And another potential player that won't be playing in the game is Leroy Sané, someone who absolutely cooked us, who cooked Kivior. Extremely quick, really good player. I mean, we know him from Man City, but he was really, really impressive in that first leg. He might not be playing in the game because he has discomfort apparently. And another huge player is Gnabry. Gnabry scored the goal against us, celebrated against us, which I found a bit weird, but whatever. He celebrated against us, he scored against us, he played decent until he pulled up. He won't be playing in the game. Alphonso Davies isn't playing in the game, and Leroy Sané might not be playing in the game. If all three of them can miss it, that is a lot of pace that Bayern Munich will be without, which is a huge plus for us. And again, with no Sané, with no Gnabry, they're still a talented team, but that allows our fullbacks to actually push up a little bit, to have a little more freedom, because in the past 2 games against Bayern Munich and against Aston Villa, when our fullbacks pushed up, we kind of had to pay for it with really quick wingers that were trying to counter-attack us the whole time. So we need to make sure that we can push up, and that will help if Gnabry and Sané aren't playing. But otherwise, interesting suspensions for Bayern. Again, they have way more than us. They do have a deeper team than us, arguably, so they can afford it, but it is a huge plus for us. Now, going on to starting 11 that I would play for the game. We need to go all out. I don't care about resting players for Wolves on Saturday. I know the game is on Saturday, which is a 2-day turnaround after this Bayern Munich game. I couldn't care less. This is a huge game for us. We need to go the strongest possible team we can. In goal, I'm going David Raya. Left back, it's tough. Who do you want to play there? I would go Tomiyasu. I just think Kivior got burned too much in the first leg. Zinchenko defensively is going to bring us nothing and had an absolutely atrocious game. I gave him a 1 out of 10 against Aston Villa. Probably could have given him a 0 out of 10. So left back for me, I go Tomiyasu. Right back, we go Ben White and my 2 centre backs, Gabriel and Saliba. That would be my back 5. I think a lot of you guys will agree with that back 5. I love Kivior at left back sometimes, but sometimes I hate him. Zinchenko, absolutely not. Now into midfield, I think you got to go Jorginho at CDM, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. If Martin Odegaard is fit. If he's not fit, tricky. Then it depends who you're playing up front, and you just got to look if it's Trossard, if it's Smith Rowe, whoever you want to play there. I'm praying Odegaard's fit, so my midfield would be Jorginho, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard. And up top, my front 3, left wing, Gabriel Martinelli. Now, I said in the previous preview, I wanted Trossard start left wing, but he just isn't a starter. He's more of a substitute and a great impact substitute, but I just don't think he is a perfect starter. Left wing, Gabriel Martinelli. Right wing, Bukayo Saka. And at striker, Kai Havertz. Why we put Kai Havertz in midfield in the previous game to accommodate Jesus, I have no idea. Kai Havertz is actually our best striker in the squad. For me, Kai Havertz has to start up front next to Martinelli, who's going to bring pace. Next to Saka, who I don't know how they're going to guard Saka because there's no Alphonso Davies. This is a time to exploit Bayern's left-hand side, for sure.